Hello, everyone. How are you today? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Manuel Arzola. I am from Puerto Varas, which is south of Chile. And I just want to show you some places in this area that I just love. And I think after this meeting, you are going to love them as well. Okay, let me share my screen and I can give you some more details about it. Um, okay, uh, maybe you're thinking with your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, that special person. You're looking for a quiet place with a beautiful scenery, very nice people, very nice meals. And I think this is the place you need to be. Because if you want to take some pictures in the sunset, or maybe just walking around into the handcraft market, just playing with the snow in the solar volcano, or just take the ferry boat to get into the Chiloé Island. Well, these are some of the excursions that we have in this area. But first of all, some information. As you can see on the map, we are located in the south of Chile, just 1,000 kilometers away from Santiago. We are just close to Argentina and also some other places like San Carlos de Bariloche. So we are around, Puerto Varas as around 60 meters above the sea level. While climate is the temperate rainforest, which is obviously we have a lot of rain, around 150 days with rain per year. Well, obviously, that's why all the green. Just hold on just 1 second because I'm going to show you some pictures about that. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So what can we do, right? That's a fair question. That's this one of the outstanding attraction that we have in this area is the solar volcano. It's the first one that you saw in the picture. This is an excursion who visit 3 points into the Vicente Pérez Rosales National Park. The Osorno volcano, the Petroguel waterfalls, and the Todos los Santos Lake. So you have wonderful views of the Janquihue Lake, one of the biggest in South America. And inside the national park, you have some trails where you can walk by your husband, your wife, and it's quite a good excursion to get in touch with the nature. So that's a great excursion. It's a half-day excursion. And these are the pictures, the Osorno volcano, which is the outstanding attractions that, as I said, and it's considered the starting point from the Patagonia, which is the Chilean Patagonia. In the center of these pictures, you have the waterfalls. In wintertime, as I said, you have the snow, but you have in the Osorno volcano, in the top, you can find glaciers. So you have snow all year round, and imagine just to stay there. So it's a quite an experience to be here. Well, that's one of the excursions, but we have another one, which is the Chiloé Island. I just talked to you about something, just taking the ferry boat to get into the Chiloé Island. Chiloé it's a magical island because in one hand, you have these churches, you have this story about the people who live there. and what they um, believe, because you have some leprechauns, stories about leprechauns, you have a ghost ship. So it's quite an interesting thing, witches, a lot of witches. But it's a very nice excursion. It's a whole day excursion, but it's a beautiful one. So the churches, as I said, there's a museum, there is the nice palafitos, the handcraft market, the fish market also. So it's a quite an experience to get into the Chiloé island. Well, if you want to take some thermas, if you want to spend the time into the pools, for instance, you have in this particular thermal spa, you have 10 pools, thermal pools with a thermal mat. Also, there's a cafeteria inside, so you can take just a nice trip from Puerto Varas, getting into the Ensenada, Ralún, Cochamó, Puelo, get into the Termas del Sol, spend just 4 hours to get inside the Termas del Sol, and after that, we're going back. So it's a nice experience. I can show you these pictures. This, as I said, there's 10 pools, thermal pools inside, where you can have temperatures from 35 to 45 Celsius degrees. So it's quite an experience. And you have also, as I said, a cafeteria inside, when you can take some soups and sandwiches and pizzas and everything. It's a quite a very good excursion. If you want to take some relaxing time, this is the place you need to be. Well, after that, if you want to take just a trail, and you want to walk inside the national park, well, this is the place, the Alerce Andino National Park. It's close to Puerto Varas. We're going down from Puerto Varas to Puerto Montt, and after that, we're getting into the Alerce Andino. And what we can see is this, obviously, this antique tree, the Alerce. There's a walking around 1 hour and a half walking to get into this old, where you can see those ladies who trying to hug the tree. You need more than 10 persons to do that. But it's quite beautiful to get into the nature, walking inside this path. It's to get in touch with the nature. It's quite an experience. Well, another excursion that you can do, it's a half-day excursion. It goes to Frutillar and Puerto Octay. You know, starting in 1850, there were German settlers in this whole area around the lake. So we have their traditions, their gastronomy, I mean, their homemade beers, also very good. So this is very, I think it's the one that you can see of views of the volcanoes, because in this area we have the Osorno volcano, we have the Calbuco volcano, the Tronador, which is half Chilean, half Argentinian, the Puntiagudo. And this is one of the excursions you can see all those volcanoes. And besides that, the Yanquihue Lake. So you have in Yanquihue, which is the first town, this is the first picture at your left and the way in the top. And after that, we're going to visit Frutillar, where you have a museum, you have a theater there. And finally, we get into Puerto Octay, when you have amazing views of the Sono volcano and Yanquihue Lake. So it's historical, but it's also with a very nice views. Well, obviously, those are some of the excursions that we have, and I just uh, love to be with you and this at this meeting to show you these places. And finally, um, I just want to say that thank you for this um, time that I can show you these places. I just talked to you about it. It was like 20 years ago that I just came here, and I never went out. So it's quite an amazing experience to be here, and I think you're going to spend the most wonderful time here. So be welcome whenever you want. So bye bye and have a pleasant day.